Why I create even though no one understands. Real, raw, and unapologetic. This your girl, Queen Terrell, and this is the second episode on Unfiltered Queenn. So let's talk about it. Have you ever felt like you're changing and everybody around you expects the old version of you? Like you're growing, but you're lonely. And then every conversation that you have, it doesn't hit the same and you don't even know how to explain it. Yeah, this episode right here, this episode is personal. So if you're driving, you're cooking, washing dishes, I want you to really stop and listen to what I'm going to tell you. See, I didn't start doing this because I thought it looked cool. And I didn't wake up one morning and just be like, oh, I wanted to film, shoot music videos, write songs, podcasts. No, this came from pressure. And it came because I had too many thoughts going on in my head and I didn't know where to put them. Have you ever felt like that? Like your brain just won't stop? You start thinking about your past relationships. You start thinking about your future and your past all at the same time. Well, that's where I was. And instead of letting everything build up, I start creating. When I start creating, I didn't do it for perfection. I did it because I needed an outlet, because I didn't have nobody else to talk to and I didn't know where else to go. Now, let me talk about my book, Pick Your Heart Up, A Love Intervention for Women. This book right here. And I want to be real with y'all. This book isn't just about words. This book is about me, because I wrote this where I was at a time where I really had to sit down and understand myself and face myself. Like I had no distractions, no running, and no pretending that everything was okay. I had to really ask myself questions that people was scared to avoid. Like, why do I keep choosing people that doesn't choose me back? And I know somebody is listening that felt that, because it's not always them. Sometimes it's you realize because you don't realize your worth. And sometimes you're holding on to potential instead of reality. I had to learn that the hard way. This book came from me having conversations with myself and asking myself questions. And those questions was, am I loving them or am I scared to be alone? Am I healing or am I distracting myself? Do I actually like this person or am I just used to them? And when I tell you those questions changed me and it changed how I thought, and that is why I wrote this book. Not to preach, but to help some people understand and answer the questions that I had for myself. They probably, was wondering the same things. Now let's talk about film, because this is where it gets deeper for me. Well, when you're right, you feel it. But filming is when you actually see it. I could take a moment like sitting in a quiet room, phone not ringing, lights dim, and I could turn that into a scene. And somebody watching that will be like, that is exactly how I feel. And that's power, because sometimes people don't have those words, but people recognize the feeling when they see it. And that is why I love filming. That is why I'm building what I'm building. And I don't just tell stories. I want people to feel it, to see it. And I want people to understand that they're not in this world by themselves and they don't feel that way alone. There's other people going through the same thing, and you shouldn't feel shamed about it. Now, I'm not your typical artist. And I had to stop trying to be, because for a minute, I always was looking at everything that everybody else do. And I had to ask myself questions like, am I doing too much? Should I focus on one thing? Or am I just confusing everybody? But then I had realized something, that I'm not supposed to fit in just one box. I write books, I make music, and I shoot film, and I podcast. And all of that connects. It's one connection. And all of that connection is me. And if you really pay attention to me, you'll see that I carry the same emotion in everything that I do. Love, power, pain, and growth. I'm not just a content creator. I'm telling a story, but just in a different form. Let's slow down real quick, because this part right here is what people don't say out loud. Why do I feel disconnected from everybody? Why don't conversations hit the same like it used to? Why do I outgrow people, but I still miss them? And why do I feel I'm becoming someone new and it's scary? Why do I feel alone, but I'm really not alone? Let me tell you something. You're not broken. You're just evolving. In evolution, it don't always feel good. Sometimes it feels confusion. It feel like confusion. It feel like distance, or it feel like silence. But silence, that's where you find yourself. I had to accept things that hurt, like everybody can't go where you're going. And that don't make them bad people. It just means they were a past version of you. They were a part of an old version that you had finally decided to let go. And you're on to your next level, and they cannot go with you to your next level. And once I understood that, I stopped explaining myself. I stopped forcing connections, and I stopped shrinking just to keep those people around me and just to make them comfortable. If you take anything from this episode, take this. You do not need permission to grow, and you don't need approval to change. You don't need to stay the same just for those people to stay around. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to grow, and you're allowed to outgrow things. You're allowed to choose you. So yeah, that's why I create. That's why I write books. That's why I film. And that's why I do podcasts, because this is just bigger than the content. This is pieces of me. And if you like this episode, if I said something that hit you, I need you to come back. I really need y'all to come back, because the next show, we're going to talk about when conversations stop feeling real, when energy shifts, and when you know something's changed, but they just don't want to say it. And that one is going to hit different. This is Unfiltered Queenn, and I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be real. So I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.